Hello, everybody, and welcome to the back nine of round 2 of the Midsouth Collegiate Open. My name is Daniel Dravitt, and I'm joined by
Toby Martin
and
Nick Puttycomb.
And we have the singles round for the Midsouth Collegiate Open at the Towering Oaks course. It has been a tough course, and these players are struggling, and they're getting birdies, and they're getting bogeys. But let's just jump right back into the action.
Let's do it.
All right, this hole is a par 5. We're looking at 800 feet and a sharp dogleg left. One of the toughest holes on the course. You do not have a lot of room to work with. This drive, you have a little bit more room than the rest of the hole. We can see the forehand coming out, laying up. That's what a lot of these players will do, is lay up down here so they can prepare for their second shots, which is basically just a second drive. Here comes Dalton with his shot. He'll lay up right next to the bridge.
Yeah, you can kind of go to the right of the tree and hyzer like Dalton did, which is a great safe play. It really is probably the smart play, or you can just go up the gap, try and keep pushing straight. I personally don't want to talk about this hole too much, just for like personal reasons. A lot of thumbers can happen if you get off the fairway on this, which is not good.
And Noah found a pretty good line there. He got a clean, all the way down past the bridge. It's like everybody else is just trying to get over that bridge.
As long as you're in the fairway, though, here, it's like you're still alive for your second shot. You haven't thrown in the towel yet.
So what was your approach on this one? I mean, other than a lot of thumbers, it's a really long one and not giving you a lot to work with. Were you trying to just lay up each time, or you think there's an opportunity to go for it here?
Yeah, so like theoretically, right? Let's just talk in theory. I'm trying to get just past the bridge and then just kind of through this gap up here for my second shot, third gap kind of more around the corner, and then just right there. I'm trying to play the fairways, but the second I was off of it, I was like, I don't want to waste a stroke getting back to just hit another tree and then be back off the fairway. So it's thumber time, baby.
Yeah, and he's already, having to pull some trick shots there. We got people leaning out, looking for lines.
Dalton is not playing the main fairway here. There is a secondary fairway that he did like during practice. And so kind of seeing him taking that, I'm interested to see how that turns out.
That's risky with how much stuff there was on the ground here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect a roller to get very far.
Yeah, there's just a lot of random logs, I feel like, that can kind of just stop your roller in its tracks. This is hard to film.
Well, you can see several shots in a row that are just not, traditional. We're going with, here we got another one coming, another little patent pending kind of move coming over his shoulder.
Smooth.
This got a good one.
The catch cam for this hole, I took the first drive. I was thinking about lining up for some of their secondary drives, and I think I decided it wasn't worth it. It's really hard to see where people are or what lines they're trying to go for.
I don't think we'd gain much from the catch cam on some of those shots. It'd just be
tough to
wow.
hit the basket.
After getting there and doing all the work to actually give himself a look, that was
Is this putt for?
This is for par.
This is for 5. Clean,
right,
clean putt.
Yeah, very nice.
This is a putt for 4. This is for birdie.
I don't even know how that happens. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we missed some of his throws. He had a really nice overhand and then a really nice forehand to get up to the basket, and he had a really great birdie on this hole.
I threw like 2 shots for every shot that guy threw. Dang. Hole 15, par 4, really short. Forehand off the tee. This one's kind of similar to that other par 4 that's a forehand off the tee, and then it's just scramble. This, God, oh no.
Bad kick.
Jesus.
that was.
It's like, yeah, he pulled it a little bit, but like no one deserves like that bad of a result. I mean, that's just Dalton with a forehand here. Smooth.
Hey,
Come
pretty
down,
clean.
hits a
Got
tree.
over the little ditch there.
Still, I'm
Made it
not.
through.
I don't think he has a backhand from there or anything. I mean, any shot that lands not in the perfect spot, and even if you are in the perfect spot, you're not expecting backhands. You're expecting overhands and forehands in some way.
That one found a little bit of air, but nope, hit a tree eventually.
See if the left-handed shape here can kind of get to the landing zone.
Got
ricochet.
over a creek. There is a small creek. He got over it.
Yeah, he's short, but he should have a better angle than some of these other shots.
Here we're seeing again some of these throws. I was absolutely amazed how much forward progress they got. I think there's about to be 2 or 3, maybe even 4 in a row of these just absolute overhead thumbers, rollers, like everything possible to make forward movement. And here we go again. I think he's looking up.
Yeah, I mean, if you've practiced getting the disc vertical and trying to like actually hit some lines,
there you go, like 4 in a row of kind of overhand. I mean, that one's a little bit of a forehand, but it's practically over the head.
They've had some practice today, though, so they are warm. They are warm. They're
warm.
They have been geared up for these overheads and for any sort of woods. They are used to these looks at this point. They're not happy with these looks, but they are used to them.
That was 6 in a row.
This is a 3 for Dalton. Going for birdie.
Oh, great putt.
Good putt.
Right
Fantastic putt. Yeah, I mean, you're totally right. Like, some tournaments, I have to throw a thumber. I'm like, man, it's not really like, I feel like it's not warm. Second nature today. Absolutely. And this green is super guarded, too. It's not easy once you get, to the landing zone by any means.
You can see right there in front of the camera more of that hanging stuff I was talking about. I mean, this is a course that still has a little bit of development to go to really clean up some of those fairways and give you an obvious line.
Yeah, I think it's a really exciting course, and I did enjoy playing it. I think it just needs a little more cleaning, but once you've got that done, I mean, it's really a top-tier course.
Absolutely.
Tough gap here. Not really it's more of a tunnel than a gap. Kind of straight, kind of buzz SS.
He made it all the way through those trees.
He did.
Even a little roll at the end, yeah.
What I will say about this hole is the green is super guarded. I think maybe just one too many trees on the green for this one. I don't hate having to try and kind of pick a spot to attack the green. It's a little blind, and it adds a little bit too much randomness for me. But a beautiful hole.
Yeah, the gap from the tee looks really nice, but you get down to that green and there's just trees there, and you kind of don't have a lot of available options.
It forces some really, really cool putts. A lot of straddles. That is tough hitting early.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of early hits from Austin today. Overhand coming out.
See, and there's a case he didn't even try to get back to the fairway like we were talking earlier.
No,
You're just at this point saying, I can't pitch out. I need to just get forward.
Yeah, and if you can cut a corner in some way, shape, or form, it's going to do you good for getting that forward progress.
Right. This course eventually be a great complement to that championship course, because having that one that's just rolling hills, giant throws, big uphill, downhill, and open to this one will be your exact opposite, where you've got to fight through every single fairway. So
yeah. It's kind of the like Northwoods Black Eureka Temp type of model, where it's like you have one that's testing the extreme of one skill and then one that's testing the extreme of the other skill, and the potential is absolutely there. Great putt.
Another one from Dalton.
Oh. Scary putts to run here.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell what he was looking at there. He had trees in his face.
Yeah. And in the same way that the Disc Side of Heaven course has a lot of these sloped greens, this course has a lot of that, but in the woods. So you're scared of hitting trees on the putt and then also just rolling away on the putt. Personal victim of a roll away on this hole. Tough. Very tough. 16B, par 3, 340 feet. This is, this one. OB on the left side and Thorns on the right, I believe. Plays kind of far.
Yeah, a little bit uphill. Can get windy out here too. After being in the woods, it gets a little bit more open.
Great shot.
Yeah, about pin high there. That's a good one.
It is a nice one after kind of getting in like that par 5, that par 4, then that par 3 of just like constricting, suffocating woods. Just having this open shot, there's woods everywhere, but you feel like you can breathe a little.
Well, and to your point about having your thumber all warmed up, at this point, you haven't even gotten a chance to rip one in a while. So it's like you got to, warm back up to, really get a good drive on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't thrown like a smooth backhand shot in a second that you kind of got to air out. A little bit trickier for the lefty here.
There's a lot of turn on it. That's good.
Let's see.
Coming in here. A
Ooh,
little bit short, yeah.
Looks like it's not going to be OB, though. You got to get kind of over the fence to be OB.
Ooh, another one of those where he's just like lunging from the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, got up there to, looks like what could have been circle 1. Good bid.
Coming out of the mess there.
Ooh,
oh, wow. That was in the basket and back out again.
Yeah,
Just
that would have been
a
exciting.
little too much life and spin on it.
Yeah, that was for birdie. He really wanted that.
Oh, man. And birdies, they're hard to come by out here, but they feel great to get.
Dalton for birdie.
Speaking of birdies here.
smooth.
Birdie for Dalton.
Looking good again.
And what does that put his score at if you remember? Is he 4 down at this point? He is 4 down at this point.
That brings him to 4 down. Ooh, that's a missed putt.
And I wonder if the course record of 3 down was in his head at all. If he was, thinking about that, trying to keep that going. So, I mean, he could get it, but he might blow it too. We'll see. Next hole 17 on the course. Really cool par 4. You got to go over a valley of trees. Really picturesque. One of my favorite holes. Don't touch this one. Don't fix this at all. Just go really just straight, and then you're going to have a forehand in through a really cool tunnel.
Right over the treetops. You got to love those throws. Makes you really, feel like a giant when you're coming over the top of it all.
It makes me feel like I throw far going over this thing. It's really fun. Dangerous though. If you're in that, that valley, it's tough to get out. You're absolutely wasting a stroke.
Yeah, a lot of these guys ended up way left just by the nature of them throwing backhand and hyzering out.
Yeah, and left isn't bad. You want to be in a perfect world. You can just throw 400 feet straight. But you're going to probably end up a little bit left, and 400 would be fantastic off the tee, leaving you a good upshot. But most of these drives are going to be in play in some way.
See, he's really powering it up, but I've noticed we have a lot of those elevated tees on this one, so I know especially for these guys that like to really run it up and really be able to step off at the end, it's been a little bit of a struggle. I can see him definitely, stutter stepping and holding up a little bit on some of these guys where you have the drop off the front.
Yeah, another tough tree kick for Austin. As people start lining up. Forehand around the top of the tree.
Yes.
That's an interesting play.
So he's not really playing the fairway there. This is more of the fairway. This looks actually great.
Yeah, this is a beautiful throw.
Oh, yeah, right in there.
Wow.
Oh, giant skip. Wow.
That's beautiful. Man, those are throws I live for. That was fantastic. Dalton, from his drive, kind of just having to throw a hyzer back, and he's pushing too far down, and that's going to be a tricky approach for him.
All right, now don't.
This landed 2 feet from me. I was recording catch cam, and I did not include the catch cam because it's just me swinging to the disc next to my feet.
Yeah, we were all a little concerned. That one came in pretty sharp, and I think we were the only ones seeing it. And fortunately, it was just a little bit short of picking off our catch cam.
We appreciate you for risking it out there like that, Tobes. Really saving the team there.
Yeah.
I love this hole. I think the way that the green, it almost feels like discs like filter towards it. Just the way the ground slopes to the right, and it almost sits in a little bit of a bowl. Dalton putt here. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
And that
this was tough.
Wow.
We actually got thrown in behind. There was a little bit of a backup, and so we were waiting a little bit, and the guys behind us threw in a disc. And while in his backswing for his first putt, that was actually his second warm-up that he went through, and then he unfortunately missed that putt for a bogey, and he's down to 3 again, matching the course record.
Jeez. I mean, it's coming down to it. I mean, that was a certified Raz. Hole 18 on the course here, a crush, an absolute bomb uphill. What's the distance on this one? Was it 360? 360 uphill? Plays for, 4, if not a little more, maybe 450. Got some branches kind of up high to contend with, too, which makes it really tough. You got to be super down the center, or else you're going to be clipping one of those branches.
About the forehand there, a lot of with the power and the uphill. Yeah, that was not going to quite make it as he burned a little bit.
Ooh, Dalton rips that one.
He puts the juice on that. He hits a little branch.
Took a little off it, but I think that might have been the right amount to take off it.
Yeah, well, it ends up a little bit short. But that's, I see this with that guy a lot. He gets a bad thing happen to him, and then he's like, I'm gonna birdie this one. I gotta birdie it.
Knuckle down, right? Yeah.
he gets it done. He gets it done. I'm happy to get a 3 on this hole, though, to be honest. Just getting, C2 putt all day. It is far.
Taking a little jump at it, and he felt like he was close enough. I think there's another one of those cases where the camera makes it look pretty far, but in person you feel like you can make that run.
Yeah, especially kind of just the uphill nature. You can give it a little bid going up there.
Oh, got in there.
Yeah.
Just barely. I was always a little nervous with his putts, the way he puts a lot of angle on those putts. And we were talking about how much rollaway there is, and he really got lucky that none of his really hit the ground and took off.
Yeah, coming back to hole 1, the start of the course. This is a 445 feet, really long hole. and a couple of OB on the side. You can see the road, and then there's also OB and thorns on the other side as well.
So it's a really far par 3. A lot of these guys are just trying to play for a 3. I believe in the course stats I saw 1 birdie on the day, which is fantastic. But, scary hole. Not going to lie.
Yeah, everybody going with these forehands, electing to kind of crash into the hill just a little bit instead of trying to go out over the road.
No, overturned.
Too much.
Yeah, it is a nerve-wracking hole. There's if you're throwing a backhand, it doesn't feel like there's a safe shot. It feels like you're always going to be messing around with something or other.
Yeah, we definitely saw some backhands work their way towards that mess on the left a little bit, and
yeah,
scare you a little. There we go, another one right up underneath there.
Good approach. Yeah, if you're a little short on the drive, the OB does jut out a little bit left, so there's space.
Oh my God.
Another great upshot.
Oh, very good.
Oh, sit down, Noah. Sit down.
Contending with that
Clear
tree.
there, yeah.
What tree? This was OB then.
Shooting for par, but it's a good upshot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should
it
be
took-
a easy bogue.
He was a little more tucked in there than I think the camera really let it show. He was
Gotcha.
having to go around just a tad.
Good cleanup.
Go, real nice.
Yeah, I mean a lot of 3s on this hole. That's kind of what happens when you get a par 3 like this.
Yeah, a lot of really nice looking upshots. I mean, these guys are good disc golfers. And when they get an open hole and their upshot is not that far, they know where to place it. They know where they want it.
I think it's cool having holes like that where it's like you got to do this really basic thing or else you lose a stroke. Hole 2, a lot of talk about this hole. Par 4, so small of a gap. Holy cow. Got to go down there straight, hyzer, work your way left, and then another straight shot. Dalton's drive.
Right over my head. Ends up
hits
pretty far.
Did he get to the corner?
No, he went a little too straight. He wanted it to hyzer out a little bit, but it ends up in the woods, not in the fairway.
Oof. This is one that is just all jail once you're off the fairway.
Looks like he hit the gap. He was just a little too much hyzer.
It's another one of those where you're focused so hard on the first gap, you don't realize you've got 20 more gaps to contend with
Yeah.
to get the rest of the way down the fairway.
I'm happy to hit the first, If the 20 other ones.
Oh, he did not hit the first. In that
he
case,
just goes down and he knows it, man.
he drops to his knees. That's a tough hole.
Oof. And he ended up electing in this point to go the other way. And so since instead of even contending with it, he actually pitched out towards the road.
What do you
And so here I was running
What?
up around, and so he actually went all the way around the right side of the entire hole,
What do you
essentially skipping the woods and going over the road instead.
He went to the right of the. He just
Exactly.
didn't-
He hit so hard right the first time. He pitched out
What?
right, and then he played from the road instead of playing from inside the woods.
That's crazy. That is the craziest thing I've heard. Oh my goodness.
Well, and you can see how they're all fighting through the woods. It might
Yeah.
not have been the wrong call. I mean,
Yeah,
some
I mean-
people are starting to think about the pitch out towards the road next time.
That does not sound like a bad play at all. Might have to try that. This approach is so difficult too. Like this gap of trees, and then the basket's just further, little baby uphill. Dalton approaching
Finally
for a
getting out
par.
clear a little bit.
Wow, ooh, that was very tricky. Is that flexing?
Heads up, right on top of you.
Oh, that was the coming from the woods side, I believe. I think that was him coming back around.
Oh, so what was that throw for him then?
That would be
That
four.
would be his fourth one.
So,
he's-
that was for par.
So he's gonna putt for a bogey then.
yeah,
So that is so he's real for that. That's not bad.
yeah. This is for bogey.
That's the one.
Oh,
Just
a little
after
low.
all that work to
I
get around there.
know. I was rooting for him. Man, at least he didn't have to throw
Par putt.
5 tomahawks. So that's cool.
Yeah, I think Austin may have shot worse on this hole because he had to throw 5 tomahawks. So I guess it's a choice. You want to shoot out to the left like Seth, or try to take the woods like the rest of the card.
Yeah. This is maybe the tightest gap, I think, hole 3. Very narrow. I mean, kind of 2 gaps here. There's a left one and a right one. You got to go for... Oh, Dalton, okay. I was actually just going to say you got to go for the left gap. But he's going for the right gap. It didn't work out. So maybe the left gap is the move. Tight gap. I don't know. Any thoughts on this gap?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, more people going
It
for the right
feels
gap.
way scarier because there's options for gaps. You know, it's like I have to choose which gap to hit, and I think that's scarier because in the end, I'm gonna hit the tree in the middle, just because I think I just need a pure.
And everybody's pretty much going for the ground play. Like they're pretty much going for the skip. We'll see if he
Man.
rounds it off on the card of everybody trying to get a big wide skip.
Whoa,
He goes a little more airborne.
that was pure.
That's good.
That looks so good. Oh, a little short. There is OB like 8 feet from the basket here, which is tough with the gap being as small as it is. You want to feel safe after you hit it, but full of danger here. Dalton for a 2. It's a good layup.
Yeah,
It
slide
is
it up there.
This is for birdie. Oh, another tough putt.
And an air ball. If that was an air ball, that's OB. So that's terrifying.
Yeah, almost a death putt.
Yeah. Good putt.
All right, Noah cleaning it up.
Everybody cleaning it up. This is our final hole. We started on 4 and we're finishing on 3. So final cleanup for the boys.
And that's going to conclude a 4 under par round for Dalton Hastings and a course record.
All right.
course record for Dalton
Yay,
Hastings.
Dalton.
Well shot.
That was really cool, man. It was really cool. The next best score on the day was even par, so only guy to shoot under par. So just really congratulations to him. As a team, the University of Illinois averaged 4 over par. Thank you, Dalton, for shooting 4 under and improving our averages a ton. We have some thank yous to give for this round. First off, I want to thank the Illini crew, as always. Caleb Martin for editing, Toby for editing and filming, Nick for editing, filming, doing a bunch of stuff with the club. Thank yous for the tournament staff.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to our tournament director was Eli Webb, and I believe we had Mr. and Mrs. Moose out there helping out as well. So big thank yous to them. Big thank yous for the other teams for letting us film, and for everybody else who was on this card here today. And so yeah, again, thanks for you for watching, and we still have one more round after this. So
We
after
do.
we take into account these singles, we're going to be coming back, and we still have Illinois on the lead card, and they'll be joined by Texas A&M. And we'll have one more round of rotating team dubs.
Yeah, they were able to shoot a 3 over par average for their team, which is really incredible, especially considering they didn't have a 4 down, kind of helping their averages there. So the Illini will have a 3-stroke lead on Texas.
2-stroke lead.
2-stroke lead.
Yeah, because they gained a.
I think it's 3. It's 3.
3?
It's 3. We will have a 3-stroke lead on Texas A&M going into the final round. So we'll see you guys there.